This tourist thought the royal guard was nothing more than a decoration for his amusement. He laughed, provoked, and even reached for the guard's uniform, believing he could do whatever he wanted. But the moment he touched the horse, everything changed. The rifle slammed into the ground with a booming echo. The guard's voice pierced the air like a thunderclap. And suddenly the tourist realized he had made a mistake that led to his complete humiliation in front of hundreds of people. How did one split-second turn an overconfident loudmouth into a laughingstock? Let's break it down. London. The damp morning air is thick with the freshness of rain, droplets lazily sliding down the massive wrought iron gates of the palace. Overhead, a low gray sky hangs heavy, as if nature itself is setting the somber tone for the day. A crowd of tourists huddles near the entrance, eagerly stretching out their phones and cameras, desperate to capture the iconic moment. The royal guard, standing at his post. Tall, imposing, his posture rigid and flawless, he looks as if he's been carved from stone. His crimson uniform fits him perfectly, the towering bearskin hat adding to his formidable presence, while his boots, polished to a mirror shine, gleam even in the dim morning light. He is motionless, his face an unreadable mask. Before him, thousands of people, noise, camera flashes, yet none of it exists for him. He is a symbol of British tradition, discipline, and honor. But not for everyone. He stands in the front row, a man in his 30s, wearing an expensive puffer jacket, signature white sneakers, and holding a cup of coffee. A smug smirk stretches across his face, as if he's just come up with the perfect way to entertain himself. And the crowd. A tourist who couldn't care less about culture, tradition, or respect. In his mind, there's only one thing. He came here to spend money, which makes him the master of the situation. "Oh, this guy's got to be a robot," he exclaims loudly, ensuring even those in the back can hear. "All right, who's going to be the first to make him move?" A group of equally rowdy tourists erupts in laughter. They're excited. They feel like they can make this moment fun. To them, this isn't the Royal Guard. It's just a circus act with performers in uniform. And so it begins. The tourist makes the first move. He leans forward dramatically, waving a hand in front of the guard's face, contorting his features into a ridiculous grimace. Zero reaction. Not a breath, not a twitch. The crowd pauses for a moment, but then one of the tourist's friends bursts into laughter. "Oh, come on, seriously?" The troublemaker scoffs, his smirk widening. "You can't even smile? What is this, a job for mannequins?" But the guard remains impassive. His gaze stays locked, his face unreadable. Yet something shifts. The fists, hidden inside pristine white gloves, tighten ever so slightly. The noise swells around him. Some tourists start recording, others simply watch, but the tension is rising. Someone in the crowd chuckles, but others frown, exchanging glances. A hushed murmur spreads. Here we go again. People have no shame these days. But the tourist feels like the star of the show. He steps closer, emboldened, his mouth already open to push things further. And then, something shifts. The guard hasn't moved, yet the air feels heavier. The crowd stills, holding its breath. And it seems something is about to happen that no one expects. The crowd is no longer just watching. They're waiting for a show. Cameras are rolling, phones held high. Tension hangs in the air. What's going to happen next? But for the tourist, this isn't enough. He feels powerful, controlling the attention of everyone around him. It's hilarious to him because, in his mind, the guardsman isn't a person but an attraction, a living prop. He owns this stage. He's a tourist. He spends money. And that means all of this exists for his entertainment. "What if I check whether you're actually alive?" he drawls, stretching out each word with exaggerated slowness, savoring the moment. And before anyone can stop him, before the crowd fully realizes what's happening, he does the unthinkable. He reaches out and touches the guardsman's bearskin hat. Stop. Freeze. For a split second, the world holds its breath. Cameras, the crowd, the rain, even the wind. Everything stops. And then, a collective gasp ripples through the crowd. Some people instinctively step back. Others scramble to switch their cameras back on, sensing that something is about to happen. And it does. The guard's response. Suddenly, a sharp, precise step forward. A thunderous clack as the boot slams against the stone pavement. The rifle's butt strikes the ground with force. "Step back from the guard!" Loud, clear, like a crack of thunder. Now the tourist is trapped. He wasn't expecting this. The sheer power, the weight of the voice. The crowd wasn't expecting it either. For a moment he hesitates, but then he smirks again. "Oh, so you can move? Maybe you can tell me where the bathroom is?" A few nervous chuckles ripple through the crowd, but something has shifted. Before, they were laughing. Now, it's different. Some people frown. A few shake their heads in disapproval. Someone murmurs, "That's enough now. He's just doing his job." But the tourist isn't listening. He doesn't realize he's losing control of the moment. The final push. Determined to make his grand finale, he takes it a step further. He digs into his pocket, pulls out some loose change, and tosses a coin at the guard's feet. "Here, buy yourself some emotions." Silence. Now, it's definitely not funny. The guardsman doesn't move, but his patience is hanging by a thread. And then, the tourist makes a fatal mistake. He bumps the guardsman's horse, and everything changes. The crowd freezes. The tourist doesn't yet realize he's crossed the line, but the guardsman does, and the response will be immediate. A sudden turn of events. The tourist doesn't even have time to grasp what he's just done. He touched the horse. That mistake costs him 1 second. The guardsman moves instantly. His rifle snaps upward, the butt slamming into the ground with a resounding boom like the crack of a gunshot. "Move away from the horse!" The voice cuts through the air like a blade. The crowd flinches. This wasn't just a warning. This was a command. The tourist stumbles back, almost losing his footing. For the first time, there's something new in his eyes. Fear. The smirk is gone. The moment of realization. But the blow doesn't just come from the guardsman. The crowd turns against him. A woman in a beige trench coat steps forward, her eyes blazing with fury. "Are you out of your mind?" she shouts, looking at him as if he's just insulted an entire nation. Other voices rise in a chorus of outrage. "Hey, he's on duty. Do you even know they're not allowed to react? People like you are the reason we still have to teach basic respect. This is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting." The tourist freezes. Hundreds of eyes bore into him. He was the star a moment ago, commanding the spotlight. Now he's in the center of disgrace. The fall of the hero. Someone in the crowd raises their phone, recording. The tourist's face is a mix of confusion and panic. He opens his mouth to say something, but the words never come. And then, a cold official voice sounds from behind him. "Sir, you need to leave the premises." The crowd turns. A palace security officer is approaching, his expression unreadable, but his presence absolute. And now, the tourist understands. The show is over. He's not the ringleader. He's the clown. The dying fire. The guardsman doesn't move, doesn't look at the tourist, doesn't react. Because he doesn't have to. He is above this. The crowd murmurs, but the message is clear. Respect won today. And the tourist? He lost everything. The collapse of confidence. The tourist stumbles backward, bumping into someone in the crowd. His smug grin is gone, replaced by confusion. Just moments ago, he controlled the show, basking in laughter and attention. Now he is the center of universal condemnation. "What are you all looking at?" He tries to smirk, but his voice is too strained. No one laughs. The crowd is different now. Where once they filmed, expecting amusement, now their cameras capture his disgrace. The phones and lenses don't record a joke anymore. They record a lesson, the moment when disrespect meets instant reckoning. The tourist realizes this. He tries to shrug it off, to joke, but his words ring hollow. "Come on! It was just a joke!" But no one answers. His words hang in the air, heavy, useless, meaningless. The guard, a symbol of honor, and the guardsman. He stands, unmoved, as if nothing happened, as if the pathetic man before him, who moments ago acted like a king, does not exist. Not a glance, not a reaction. And that alone is enough to make the tourist feel small. The crowd shifts, opening up a pathway. With his head lowered, he walks toward the exit. Now he is nothing but an outcast. The crowd turns against him, but it's not over yet. From behind him, a loud, mocking female voice rings out. "Bet you'll remember London forever now!" It hits like a punch. The crowd comes alive. Laughter, applause, a few whispers, dripping with contempt. The tourist stops for half a second, but he doesn't turn around. Now he knows. He will forever be that idiot from the internet. The triumph of tradition. The guardsman remains, a stone figure of discipline. He does not acknowledge the tourist, because he does not exist. He does not react to the crowd, because he is above the spectacle. Somewhere behind him, applause still echoes, but to him, it is already the past. He stands, as he always has, and as he always will. Because some things do not bend to a world where respect is becoming a rarity. Tradition has won.